Shalom, shalom, shalom. Giving all the praise, honor, and infinite glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the beloved apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who I learn from daily. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, scattered across the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners like unto a speckled bird. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, that's on the highways and byways, doing lessons and videos week in and week out in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, sincere Akwath, who's listening in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. This is your brother Isaiah Allah coming to you with another lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, I pray this is edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are the biblical Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. The name of your God, your power, his name is YAHAWAH. Yah meaning he, Hawa mean is, he exists. BAHASHAM is coming in the name, and who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning savior or deliverer. All praises, all honor, and all infinite glory. And so we're going to get right into this one, brothers and sisters, and I pray, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is a report, this article I saw on End Time Headlines. We're getting closer and closer to the time of the system that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has established with the Federal Reserve notes. All right, all that's about to be done away with. And we're transitioning more and more into a digital system, all right? And you're going to start noticing the gradualism of it, and it's happening extremely fast because we're almost at the end of this society. It's almost done. So they have to collapse this system to come in with their new world order, their new regime, all right, to get to what they want to implement, which is the mark of the beast, the chip, the RFID chip, all right? But it's going to begin with this digital currencies, okay, where everybody's going to have a digital ID, and if you don't align with the system, if you don't align with the agenda, then you won't be able to partake in society, okay? And eventually, it's going to transition to them plugging, putting a chip inside of you, a charagma, a mark within you, man, okay? And it's happening over there in Mexico right now, and this is going to begin very soon. So as you can see here, in pursuit of a cashless society in the digital future, Scheinbaum plans to eliminate cash at the pump and the toll booth. Okay, and this article was published yesterday. And so let's read it. Mexico is moving closer to a cashless future, and that shift is already showing up in everyday places like gas stations and highway toll booths. A new push from President Claudia Scheinbaum's, all right, which if you don't know, all right, I said this in the previous lesson that I did the other day, that she's a small head, all right? She's a so-called you wish people, okay? Because you know they're the ones, beginning with the elite banking families, that are running everything. They're the ones that's moving the system, doing everything, all right, making sure everything is running monetarily, and they're the ones that's going to push for this agenda, this chip, man, this whole entire beast system. All right, let's continue reading. A new push from President Claudia Scheinbaum's administration aims to expand digital payment options across the country, making it easier for people to pay without relying on cash. The idea is simple on the surface. Paying with a card, phone, or electronic tag can speed things up, reduce long lines, and cut down on the risk of handling cash. But in a country where cash is still widely used, the transition is more complicated than it might seem. At toll booths, for example, digital systems like electronic tags are already in place on many highways. Drivers who use them can pass through more quickly, avoiding the stop and pay routine. The government now wants to expand access and encourage more people to adopt these systems. The same goes for gas stations, where paying digitally would make transactions faster and more secure. All right, they say that, but it's also for total control. That's the whole end goal. That's the whole purpose of the elites. They want to control, like totally control everything. They want to be able to control, like see where your money's going, where you're spending, all right, and to the point where when they put this chip inside of you, if you take it, okay, they want to know how many times you breathe. They want to know how many steps you take, all right, how many times you blink, simple little things like that, man, because they have a God complex. All right, but this is just the beginning stages of it. All right, continuing on, there are clear benefits. Digital payments can help reduce theft and improve transparency. They also make it easier to track spending and manage finances. Businesses and the government can simplify accounting and reduce the costs associated with handling cash. But there are also real challenges. A significant portion of Mexico's population still depends on cash for daily transactions. Not everyone has access to banking services, smartphones, or reliable internet. Yeah, because you and that's everywhere, man. That's everywhere. But of course, there's certain places that have it that have uh that Slovakia that don't have access to like banking services. They don't use cell phones. They don't have a reliable internet service, all right, more than other places. Okay, because not everywhere is like America, Babylon the Great. All right, this is like a big, melting pot. That's why it's called Babylon, which goes back to the root word Babal, meaning confusion. Not everybody's gonna have the access to all these services, so on and so forth, like this wicked ass place. And so a lot of people, a lot of places are still a little bit behind on the times, but they're moving things so rapidly fast that it's going to cause a lot of our people that don't really use, all right, online banking systems. They don't use tap to pay. They don't use anything of that nature, all right, to freak out, all right, because this is going to be a drastic change, okay, and it's going to cause a ripple effect within the society in Mexico, man. All right, for individuals that have always relied on cash. So continuing on, in rural areas, especially digital infrastructure can be limited or inconsistent. For these groups, a rapid shift away from cash could create barriers rather than convenience. That's why officials have been careful to frame this as a gradual transition rather than an overnight change. Cash isn't disappearing anytime soon. Instead, the goal is to offer more options and slowly build trust in digital systems. Security and reliability will play a big role in whether people embrace the change. If digital systems fail, even occasionally, it can quickly erode confidence. People need to know that payments will go through smoothly every time, whether they're filling up their tank or passing through a toll. And there's also a cultural element. Cash has long been the default in Mexico, not just out of necessity, but also habit. Shifting that mindset takes time, along with education and incentives that make digital options feel worthwhile. They already know that a lot of our people are not going to align with their agenda, align with their system. Even when you try to push these things, they already have. It's called the red list and the blue list. They already have individuals on lists. They know that certain people are not going to align with this, even with all the education that you provide to them. And so this is why we're coming into the times where they're going to completely just do a reset, and that's going to be a lot killing a lot of people. All right, depopulation is what they like to call it. They're going to do it across the planet. Okay. So continuing on, the broader context here is Mexico's ongoing effort to modernize its economy and improve financial inclusion. Expanding digital payments is part of that larger strategy. If done carefully, it can bring more people into the formal financial system and open up new opportunities. According to reporting by Mexico News Daily, the government sees this move as a step towards greater efficiency and security, while still recognizing the need to keep cash as a viable option during the transition. All right, which eventually they're gonna do away with cash, man. Like, I believe that through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, because they're like, it doesn't align with the elite banking family's agenda, man. And so things are moving rapid, brothers and sisters. All right, and so we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's go here. This is Shine Bob. Now this is in Spanish, but I'm gonna put the subtitles on so you can see and for yourself and listen to what she says. Okay. So let's play this. And this is fair use, fair use, fair use. And just read the subtitles and listen to what she says. All right? It's about 30 seconds. Fair use.
Nuestro objetivo es que este año, a través de los esquemas que trabajemos con la banca, hagamos obligatorio el pago de las gasolinas y de las casetas a través de manera digital. Esto va a permitir potenciar los pagos digitales accesibles que nos permitan avanzar en la digitalización del país a través de muchos otros esquemas.
See? So, go back real quick. Slovakia, let me do this. Let's do that. Where is it at where I can? Slovakia, brothers. But you heard what she said. I thought I was going to be able to remove, but I can't, won't let me do it. But you heard what she said. Our goal is that this year, through the schemes, we work, Slovakia, through the schemes, we work on We will work on with the banks. We will make the payment of gasoline and tolls mandatory through digital means. So every time they go to fill up, all right, they go to get their gas, you go to the store, like the stores, they're replacing it but with digital systems. And that's already been happening. But now we're here. We're here. They're about to just completely replace everything at the gasoline, gas stations, the toll booths, all right, digital. And like I read in that article, they said they want to do it gradually, but she's saying about sometime next year. So this is happening fast. So we're here. We're here. Call all YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right. So we're just gonna get a few precepts. All right. We're here. Like these prophecies are speaking, man. We are in some beautiful times. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And now the vision is being made plain, because the beloved apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, have been telling for years that eventually they were going to do this. All right. And it's going to lead up to the implementation of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right. The prophets, everything. They received these visions over 2,000 years ago. And now everything is speaking right now through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And they're showing you what their plan is. All right. And also, of course, we know this is a form of unrighteous decrees that they're pushing out. All right. And they're framing it by mischief, by saying it's going to be beneficial for you. This is what we're going to do. All right. But we all know what the end goal is. Total control. This is Psalms 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law. All right. And who's on the throne of iniquity is the Edomites, the so-called white man, beginning with the head tribe of Amalek. All right. The small hats. They're all in conglomerates. And essentially all the nations are with pushing forth this system. All right. Because they know they have a short time. The elites, man, to push forth their agenda. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. And that's the elect of the nation of Israel, man. We're the innocent. All right. The downtrodden ones, the meek, the lowly. All right. And this is through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. This is what they believe they're going to be able to control. That's what they want to control. But they're not going to be able to, right? Because you can hold no charge to the Lord's elect, as the scriptures say. But they're planning to establish this to chip everybody. All right. And for everybody to align with their agenda. All right. But the Lord's going to disappoint them, man. The Lord's going to disappoint them. And they're imagining it's pretty much a vain thing. All right. It's a vain thing that they're doing. The Lord's going to disappoint their enterprise. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Their enterprise is their new world order. They're scheming. All right. They're pushing things and they're talking smooth words to make it seem like this is going to be for a benefit. And it's not. All right. And he's going to choose their delusion. He's going to make them their whole plan to fail. All right. They'll get it to a certain point and then boom. He's going to rain it with thermonuclear missiles. And we can't wait. Lord willing, we be exempt, and Lord willing, the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI has mercy on us, man. All right. Let me see. There's another one I wanted to get. No, it's in the Psalms. Yeah, this is the Psalm 33 and verse 10. The Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Okay, and this is what the Lord is going to do, man. He's going to thwart their schemes, as it says in the NLT, Psalms 33 and 10 in the New Living Translation. The Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI frustrates the plans of the nations and thwarts all their schemes. All right, their enterprise, their new world order, their agenda they're trying to push forth. And they're slowly but surely getting it off the ground. Okay? And it's going to lead all the way up to the final plan, which is the MOTB to the B. And we're going to end it off with this one here, because we're getting closer and closer to this prophecy being fulfilled. Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That Greek word for the mark is charagma, which is an incision, an etching underneath your skin. All right, the root word charax of that word charagma, all right, is the delivery system. I have lessons on my channel breaking that word down. And so does Great Millstone. There's so many videos of brothers breaking this down. All right, we're getting closer because time is short. We're closer and closer than ever. All right, to this prophecy coming, where everybody is going to be tested. This is called the hour of temptation. And why? Because and why? If you don't take it, this is what you won't be able to do. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you won't be able to take part in society and this system. You won't be on the grid that connected to Esau's beast system. All right, you won't be able to have food, water, anything of that nature. You won't be able to work, drive, nothing without having that chip. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is the like the barcode system. All right, that's affiliated with it. All right, to show that that this is a system, this is a wicked, evil man, which is the Edomites, the so-called white man that's pushing forth this system. All right, Shai Stai stigma. All right, which shows that it's a badge of servitude going underneath your skin when you go into the Greek. Something that's going to be placed inside of you. And we're here. We're at the beginning. It's beautiful. Like, we're so closer than ever, brothers. We just got to hold on. All right. So, Lord willing, I pray you were edified. All praises, honor, and infinite glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the beloved apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.